All right, so I'm going to show you how to create this sketch here, which is sort of a profile of this block. And you could be able to take that out to your van and check and see how this fits in your slider door frame to see if you'll be able to use these blocks that I created for mounting the grab handle. So you're going to want your paper oriented like this in portrait mode. And the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to measure 1 7/8 inch from this bottom left corner and put a mark. And then you're going to come over here and just 1/8 of an inch up, you're going to put a mark. And then you're going to draw a line between those 2 points. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to create a line that's 1/4 inch above that line you just drew. So just find a place, separate a little bit, mark up 1/4 inch, mark up 1/4 inch, draw that line. So now you have these two lines. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to draw a vertical line that's 2 1/4 inches away from the edge of the page. So like I picked a mark up here, one high, one low, and draw that line. And we want that line, we're really interested in this right here. So at this point we'll have these two lines and that one. Next thing I want you to do is you're going to take a dime and you're just going to position it in between these two lines that you drew, and you're going to trace around it. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to mark these 2 points, this one here and this one here. This point is 3 7/16 away from the corner of the page. You're just going to measure this way, put a mark. The other mark here is 2 7/8 of an inch measured from the edge of the page along this line. Just put that mark there, and then you draw that. So at that point, you'll have this, and you'll just be lacking this vertical line. You're going to find a point midway between roughly these two lines and measure 1 inch in, and you're going to draw a line that's perpendicular to both of those lines. And then you are going to cut out the shaded portion. All right, so I've removed my slider handle from my frame here, and you can see there's 10 holes total. It takes 10 number 10 sheet metal screws to install this these blocks. So I'm going to show you with the template, but as I was designing it, I would come out to the van and I would ensure that I had clearance around the block. It would fit, conform nicely to the frame, and it wouldn't interfere with the window coverings. And also, when I closed the door completely, that there's a gap between the front of this. I don't want this hitting the gasket and interfering with the door closing. So those are things that I was doing. I had the physical block in my hand, but I'm going to show you how you can use the template that you created to do the same thing. So here's the example of a template that we created. I have the detailed instructions here. And so one thing you're going to want to do is you'll come out and you'll just kind of eyeball it and say, does that reasonably conform to the shape and the angle of the slider door frame there? And the answer is yes. I can hold it off a little bit. Got a consistent gap all the way around it. So that makes me feel like the general shape of the mount is going to work for my frame. If you put it on there and there's a gap and things don't look right, then that would be a sign that that particular model van wouldn't be compatible with these blocks. And the other thing is the gap behind the block. So if you hold this here, you got to have clearance between the end of the block and any window treatments or frames and things like that. And my van, it's narrower at the top than it is the bottom. As you move down, I get increasingly more gap, but at the top, the window frame is much closer and than it is at the bottom. So if you start out and you have a thicker window frame, then you may not be able to use the handle, or you might have to position it a little lower. So the handle, when the handle is constructed, it's 11 inches long from the top of the top mount to the bottom of the bottom mounting block. So you have to find a region 11 inches long that will satisfy that the template fix will fit in. So say you start here, and that's the first height that you can fit this in, then you would have to continue. It would have to be good for an additional 11 inches. So, and if you check it and it looks good, you do those checks, then we can be reasonably sure with this pretty simple method that the block will work with you. And hopefully when you install it and get it, you can share that information with the community, and we'll all learn from each other. For you, I know it's kind of a pain, but I'm hoping as people do this, maybe they can comment in the video and say, hey, I tried this and it works for my 2022 Ram 2500 Promaster or something like that.